Welcome to Tower of Karate. This is the last overview of the game before we start talking about strategy. So let's jump into it and let's go to the Island of Towers. We are officially on Karate Island and I've got my ninja gloves on. Hi-ya! But let's continue on, because we are going to make it to floor 100. As you can see, I've got 6.53 million damage that I can do per hit. Karate chop! I'm currently a white belt as we have not played a single level. We now have a new coin. So as you load in and you pick Tower of Karate, you will end up here. You have your how to play board, which is going to be your power up, and that's going to be dependent on the damage that your units have. You are going to attack by left clicking, and that will do your damage, and every few hits it'll start doing the massive karate chop. And then you are going to send the tower and master each belt. Now, you can also just immediately turn right, and you can go down here and you can see the return to the reef retreat or the mainland. We are not going to worry about that yet, but we're going to come over here. We're going to check out the karate milestones. So as you can see, we're going to be a white belt 3. Then we're going to go to yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, red, brown, black. And then that is going to be dependent on the gloves that we get. So as we continue to level up, we'll get better gloves. Once we get here, we'll have the highest tier gloves. Now you do have the option of buying gloves and just immediately cheating, because we've got our karate shop. And as you can see, we're going to be dealing in karate coin, and we are going to be able to buy crates. Our goal is to try and hit a king of karate. All this would be wonderful as well, but this is going to be the best unit. This would be a next pet. As you can see, it does not have direct damage, just a booster. And we have Master Udon, Filthy Phil, Buff Sandy, the Throne, which is going to be a mount, the Tickler, Tiki Boat, Lip, and the Noodle Patty, which is going to be our food. You have the option to buy right away 2.5 damage gloves, which you can get for free later by leveling up your belt, as well as 3.5 damage gloves, but you can get better than that for free just by playing. Now you do have karate coin boosts, and as you want to try and get some of these units, I will say trading for these or trying to find someone who got them through admin abuse is very helpful. Now the belt boosts right now, we do stop at a certain level, so while this will definitely get you to that faster, I don't think these are quite as necessary, but still nice to have, especially if you're getting them for free and admin abuse. So we've gone through our belts, we've gone through how to leave, we've gone across the bridge, and we've seen the shop. So next, let's defeat the tower. So as you can see, everything starts off locked. We are going to do party only, as people like to jump in, and frankly, I'm not trying to run through and Sherpa. Now we do have a daily completion, where if you come back, you get boost coins for each level, as well as your standard coins and some belt XP. So we've got our units set, and we are ready to go. Now, if you can't already tell, all my units are missing, which means we aren't fighting this with units. We are the unit. You have to go in and karate chop your way to the top. So we've got floor 1, as we are going to go ahead and fight some anchovies, and floor 1 is complete. So let's get over to floor 2. And as you can see, the floor now changed. That first one, we went to the right. This is going to be a short level. And then we've got what I call the dojo room, because we got 4 door options. You can sometimes go straight, sometimes go right, and sometimes go left. So they made this to fight the macro ability and try to make sure that you actually playing this. Now, can you macro it? Kinda. Your results are going to be absolutely terrible, but you can. So, we've got through floor 5 here, and you can see I now have a flashing red bar right here with a Q. Now, I am going to be saving this for the lower floors, for the end level, because it's going to be a special attack move, and it's going to basically defeat everything in the room almost instantaneously. For the harder units, or on certain other levels, we are going to use it about halfway through, which we will demonstrate a little bit later. But every 10 levels, you're going to hit a boss level, and this is floor 10, and you can see that there's a ton of them. And we did our special move, and everything died instantly, which is why I always make sure that I have my Q ready for the 10th floor, or the 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th, so on and so forth. So let's continue on here. We're going to continue and push through, run through some floors, and as we progress, I'll definitely talk about a few things, like these white guys here. These big things that were protecting the Tower of Karate character from SpongeBob are hard. They definitely do a lot of damage, so be very careful, as they can take your power quickly. But one other thing, as I continue to get hit here, alright, as you can see, my damage went down, but as we stand here a second, it does continue to go back up. So if you are getting low, like fighting these guys can go down super quick. As you can see, 64 taking on those 4. So don't hesitate to stop and let yourself recharge, especially as you progress. This is definitely going to be harder and harder, and you don't want to constantly have to restart. So make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to stay close and stay healthy throughout the entire run. Now, one other thing is, if you have them, you can actually ride a mount through Tower of Karate, and you can go even faster. But typically, I usually just jump and go ahead and hit the shift button and do the jump run. And we've got our Q once again for the final floor. Alright, so I'm going to go silent here. We're going to power through some floors, and I will show off Tower of Karate. Now, these hash things are absolutely brutal as well. As you can see, I immediately dropped down to 39 health. So I am going to chill here for a second just to recover, because those hash are very, very brutal throughout. And you'll see that those are where I certainly use my special again, is anytime I see a bunch of hash, especially on one of the later floors, and we'll kind of talk about that strategy and grinding. Now, the nice thing, as you do continue up the floors, you see that I didn't use this at the boss battle because I decided to use it on the hash, and I do get to carry it over, so that is a very nice added bonus. Now, if I'm grinding, I usually pick Davy Jones level 90 through 100 because I can usually do it fairly fast. So this next one, you've got 2 units who are hardcore, but one hit with anything new, and same concept here. So as you can see, we can kind of go through these levels fairly fast, and then I always queue on level 95 to get rid of the hash, and I'll have one at the end again because of how many characters are left and what we take out. So as you can see, I'm already most of the way there. And now I've got it, and we are on floor 99. So let's finish these off here and jump and hash and done. And you can do it in under a minute pretty quick. So you can get 500 belt XP, 375 coins on normal, but it's 500 if you're on Davy Jones. And ultimately, that is going to be the fastest way to level up. So the next one that I'm going to show you real quick, but we're not going to stay here for very long, is going to be endless. So this is once again same concept. It's every 10 floors, but you can already see now these guys are instantly harder, and I'm not one hitting everybody all the way through, so we're definitely not going to make it as long. I'm not worried about my health right now. And as you can see, these guys are definitely not going down as quick. So if you miss a hitbox, you're definitely going to lose damage. Dealing with hashes becomes harder. Dealing with the karate unit is going to be harder as well. So overall, this is not a fast way, but these are how the people ended up grinding. Now, most of them would do this. Let's see if you can still do it. Oh, maybe they fixed it. You used to be able to stand on stuff and just hit them from above, and it was a really cheese method. So I hope that they end up wiping the leaderboard, because that's how people got to wave 5,000, 6,000, whatever it was on there, which was easy to do. But you would sit on this tree and you would stand on top of it, and you could swing down and you could hit some of those units, and that would make it super easy to just go ahead, stand there, and then eventually you get your Q superpower in my case, and you hit it, and then you just defeat everything and move on, and you just keep leveling it up, making it super easy to a degree. Very time consuming, but easy nonetheless. And then there was also at one point a glitch where you could have a super thin unit on Tower of Karate, and it had no hitbox for you. So at that point you could just walk through, and I could be doing this and you pretty much just wouldn't get hit. So a lot of the people on the leaderboard are there due to certain glitches, and will be there forever, frankly, unless it gets reset. So I'm hoping that the devs do eventually reset that, now that they've fixed the you can't stand on the tree and you can't use that skin anymore on the game. So hopefully Tyson, Bert, Zach, if you actually watch this ever, please reset the leaderboard. All right, so we're just gonna hop in here. I'm gonna lose. You get the point. Endless, not really my cup of tea, but still cool. So let's go back to the lobby. Let's grab some crates, and let's open a few real quick just so I can show you what we're looking at. Let's grab 4 crates and let's open them up here. That is going to be Tower of Karate. Supposedly there was a Tower of Karate 2 that was supposed to be coming out. Everything Tower of Karate kind of gets delayed, probably just to how in-depth this level system actually is. It's not very well played, and I will show you why, mainly right when we return back. So let's go back to Reef Retreat, and I'll show you why it's not very well played. So not only did the crates have 2 mounts and a few units and stuff, the Filthy Phil was almost impossible to pull. You could almost pull as many King of Karates as you could the Phil. Just the crate kind of was off in general, but we didn't go up in eggs. They never planned for that to be part of an event. We didn't go up on levels, so it doesn't really contribute to the game. So it's kind of its own game and really shouldn't be in here, frankly. Or if it is, hopefully they surprise me at the end of the month and you can start also earning levels, also earning stuff towards your pass, because it doesn't count for any of this stuff. So why am I playing Tower of Karate? The units in there are outdated. There's no purpose whatsoever to play Tower of Karate unless you want those units, those mounts, and that's it. There's no other reason to play Tower of Karate in this game. It does not do anything as of right now. Hopefully they get that updated, and hopefully I get to make a new video at one point about how Tower of Karate counts for playing eggs. It counts towards my season pass. It counts towards my levels, and it actually adds to this game. But as of right now, it doesn't. It's its own thing, which is why I did it last. And unless you want those units, I wouldn't play it. All right, let's open up our playtime prizes and come on, 7X. Oh, finally. All right, and then just to show you guys how big of a deal something as simple as 7X is. So let's claim our 7X here real quick. Oh, so much better. Hop into Middle Ages, and I will show you what a difference 7X alone makes from time frame. And that's it. Look, it drops it to 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So much better. All right, and that is it. That concludes our overview series. So next up is going to be tips, strategies, and setting up for the grind, because we need to get to level 50, and then we can talk about boss battles. So they've got that set up as the last item. Once we hit boss battles, things will start coming pretty quick, because we will be able to talk about different levels, setup strategies, how to get rich in gems, coins, and everything else. So this is me signing out, where we are going to go through and I'm going to show you how important admin abuse is to catch. Hopefully we get some good stuff, and I'll see you then.